Whenever a person needs to deliver scripted, detailed information to an audience within a specific time frame, that's when they need a teleprompter. Otherwise known as prompters or autocues, they're used extensively in television for news and weather reports, game shows, commercials, documentaries and lifestyle programs. They're also commonly used in non-broadcast video work, where professionals need to record messages to associates, employees or prospective clients. Owing to their ease of use and professional appearance, you often see them used for live stage presentations such as award ceremonies, conferences, special event launches and aiding keynote speakers. People new to working with prompters tend to have reservations about using them. Sometimes presenters might get tongue-tied, look uncomfortable, sleepy or even slightly dishonest. The information on this CD is designed to give you an overview of what to expect on a video shoot and how to get the best value from using a teleprompter on your next production, from script to screen. The script is your information source. It contains the content of what you want said, but all too often it's written to be read, not spoken. You can supply it to the Autocue op in any word processing format, Mac or PC, preferably emailed to the production company ahead of time. Let's take a look at this example. Okay, if you're not a fan of big words, you can see the obvious cuts. If you're a fast speaker, a phrase like preeminent event is going to cause tongue ties, even though it might look good on paper. This looks like a stage script, so it's a good bet that you're going to be introduced. And probably what you're going to talk about will be indicated as well. Or if this is a video script, your name, title and subject matter might appear on the screen. But don't go overboard. Often though, it's the simple things that really count. Use contracted words wherever possible, because that's what most people do when they're speaking. Always look to shorten your sentences. Now bullet points, in fact most forms of page layout formatting don't transfer to autocues, and I'll talk more about that in the action section. But for now, the autocue script should only contain the text to be read. No bullet points, indents, tables, charts, borders, scene directions, just your monologue. Now with a little editing, your bullet points could read like this. We slipped 3% in the 18 to 35 male market for hardware. However, we managed to increase our floor space in all of our northern stores by 20% as per the plan, reversing the slip. And Buffalo demand on the East Coast shot up 9.5%. If you want visual aids, make them visual aids. Your autocue operator will go over the script and do some very basic prep so that the lines read clearly on the autocue screen. But if a lot of retouching is needed before the shoot day, a fee to cover editing time may be charged. Don't send the autocue operator fully laid out shooting scripts like this. Just send the speech. With your script safely finalized, you can turn your attention to the more superficial aspect of your presentation. How are you going to look?
A script's usually written with a particular audience in mind, so you dress accordingly. And unless there's some theatrical aspect to your performance, presenters should usually wear something they feel comfortable in that also reflects the tone of the message they're delivering. It's best to avoid strong, vivid reds and whites. They don't tend to flatter your skin tone colour, and they often copy poorly onto VHS. Pinstripes, houndstooth, basically patterns with very fine lines can also be distracting. Makeup's used both for cosmetic and technical reasons. Hiding blemishes is one thing, but light's used in both video and stage environments. They're bright, they're harsh and hot, so makeup's often used to take out the shiny spots on the T of the face caused by the heat and sometimes by the nerves. You shouldn't feel self-conscious about having makeup applied or having your wardrobe rearranged when you feel you don't need it. Stage and video productions are strange environments. There's an industry saying that with video it doesn't have to be right, it just has to look like it is. Your production company should really give you more specific advice about what to wear and how to look your best depending on the job.
Welcome to the shooting environment. While this is a studio, the same #1 rule applies if we were to shoot on location, in an office or on a street. Safety first. Look out for cables on the floor, light stands, heavy rigging and awkwardly placed props. The lights are not only bright, they're hot. Don't touch. The director will keep you up to speed with how the setup's going and introduce you to the crew. If you're using a prompter or autocue, you have at least 4 people involved: a sound operator, camera operator, the autocue operator, and you've met the director. For the most part, the tricky work is done before you arrive and after you leave. You may go into makeup or wardrobe, but before you do, if you have any changes to the script, please let the prompt operator know as soon as you can. Most of the teleprompter's job is turning computer output into smooth scrolling TV output for your monitor. It is very basic text editing functions, so the more lead time we have, the better. Word changes are very easy, but if you want to add a page of text, that will take as long as it takes to type in, or copy it from one file to another. When the set's ready, the script's ready, and you're ready, grab a glass of water, not too cold, and when the director says
3, 2,
it's time for action!
Cross over to the other side there if you could, Matt. Just grab that light over the other
When you
side.
step in front of the camera, people may seem to be fussing over you. Let them.
Bit of powder for the shiny spots.
Craig's going to give you some...
Just going to move this cable. We're getting a bit of rustle.
You won't hear much from the autocue operator unless he makes some changes during your pre-read. You can see why bullet points and formatting are bad. They'd soak up a lot of screen space. During rehearsal and shooting, the director is in charge of directing your delivery. But the autocue op will give you a general introduction to the cue if time allows. Here are 5 main points to think about for your presentation. The director should always allow you to pre-read the script on the autocue in rehearsal. Sometimes you find that words which normally go together online are broken over 2 lines.
No, sorry, I'll stop you there. You said online instead of on one line.
Oh, sorry.
Can we take that one at a time?
Yep. Sometimes you find that words which normally go together on one line are broken over 2 lines to help readability. Sometimes the opposite.
Sorry, Dave, do you want to have a practice run?
No, I'm fine. Okay, it's good. Sometimes the opposite helps. Sometimes the opposite. On a page, you normally read, on a page, you're not, on a page.
Sorry, wait for my cue. Take 3.
Yeah. Sometimes the opposite helps. On a page, you're normally reading 8 to 15 words a line. Now you'll be reading 3 to 5 words a line. It's a different rhythm and requires getting used to. It's your autocue operator's job to help you with readability options.
Okay, great, Dave, we've got that. Moving on to the next scene.
Go at your own speed. The operator is reacting to your delivery, constantly fine-tuning the scroll speed to match your reading speed. If you speed up, the autocue speeds up. If you slow down, ditto. Maintain your eye line to the camera. This is something that requires practice and/or a lot of takes to master. Unless directed otherwise, when you begin a take, start looking at the camera. When you end a take, keep looking at the camera. During a take, unless you have a certain mastery of technique, keep looking at the camera. Oh, you are allowed to blink. Okay, eye movements are more significant the tighter the shot is. Eye movements away from your audience, in this case the camera, makes you look either uncomfortable or dishonest. The only time you should really look away from the screen is when the director says cut. Many people aren't even aware that they are looking away from the camera. And if a look away is done at an edit point in the script, we have to do another take. Don't rock. People often rock or shift foot positions when standing. Again, perfectly normal movement, but undesirable in a production environment. It makes you look uncomfortable or distracted, which, if you're rocking, you are. It's like the body language of eye movement you saw earlier. Being animated in a performance is fine because gestures are part of intentional communication, but swaying or shuffling your feet isn't. So before the beginning of a take or speech, stretch, jump up and down, do anything that will shrug off fatigue. Enter every take at your best level of concentration. And if you're still rocking, we'll either supply you with a pedestal if you're standing or anchor you in your chair in some fashion. Finally, and this may sound a little cheesy, don't just read your message, value it. You can get so comfortable just reading the script that your face goes to sleep. Remember, the script is a message that's important. On rare occasions, you may not like what you're saying, but you've got to believe in it. Use gestures. Put stresses in your speaking. Don't be monotonous. Practice in front of a mirror. Your script has all the information you require, and it's written so that the message is clear. Now, let your audience see how valuable it is.
Cut.
So, you want to see how you've done, huh? Well, the first thing you'll confront is vanity. Don't worry, happens to everyone. You might think you sound weird. You might think you look weird. Well, the reason is simple. You're used to seeing a reflected image of yourself as opposed to how everyone actually sees you. And seeing your left side where your right side normally is and vice versa is odd. Some camera angles may distort your appearance. You'll trick yourself into thinking you look unwell perhaps, or thinking that you've gained weight is a common observation. Getting competent at presenting means observing yourself critically, not negatively, critically, analysing your performance and correcting any uncomfortable habits. When you see yourself, don't look for pimples, look for sincerity. You'll normally find that around the eyes. Are you mesmerised by rolling words or speaking lifelessly? Are you a rocker? Are you maintaining eyeline? You talk with your head on your side a bit. There's nothing wrong with that, but again, it's all about getting an appreciation of your own performance. Most importantly, do you look like you believe what you're saying? All leaders in business recognise the importance of effective personal communication, but public speaking still remains to be a bit of a worry for many of us. Script to Screen is all about familiarising you with video production and autocue use. All it takes is a little homework on your part so that when you meet the crew on the day, everyone's focus is on making your message the best it can be.
Okay, everybody ready to record one? Okay, Donna? Alright, close the doors please, cell phones off.